why does everything fall away right when you're finally ready for love? If your world is contracting, if friendships are dissolving, if you find yourself alone more than you've ever been, this is not punishment. This is preparation. What feels like devastating loss is actually a precise recalibration happening at the deepest levels of your being. Your phone has gone quiet. Conversations that once flowed easily now feel forced, almost painful. People you thought would be in your life forever have become strangers. And in the silence, a question haunts you. Am I being left behind? The answer is no. You're being selected. There's a psychological pattern at work here, one that the depth psychologist observed throughout his life's work. Before any genuine transformation, before you can truly meet another soul at the level of profound recognition, there must be what he called a retreat into yourself. The psyche knows what the conscious mind cannot yet accept. It begins clearing the stage, removing everyone and everything that no longer matches the frequency of who you are becoming. This isn't random. This isn't bad luck. This is your unconscious orchestrating a sacred preparation. Because the love you've been seeking, the connection you've been dreaming of, cannot enter a cluttered space. It needs room. It needs you to be whole first. Think back to when your life was full. Friends, activities, relationships that gave you structure and identity. Then something shifted. Not all at once, but gradually. A friend stopped calling. A relationship ended without drama, just a slow fade. The gatherings you used to enjoy started feeling hollow. You felt it before you understood it. Your soul was outgrowing the containers that once held you. In alchemical psychology, there's a phase called the nigredo, the blackening. Everything false must dissolve before anything authentic can emerge. This darkness, you're in this isolation. It's not depression in the clinical sense. It's a deep composting of the old self, the version of you that sought validation externally, that bent and shaped yourself to fit into spaces too small for your spirit. That version is dying, and it must die completely before the real you can be born. The people leaving your life weren't bad people. They were simply aligned with an older version of you, a version that has expired. You've changed, your soul has expanded, and those old connections, those unspoken agreements, and comfortable patterns, they can no longer hold your new frequency. They're not breaking because you failed. They're breaking because you've grown. Maybe you feel guilt. Maybe you wonder if you're pushing people away. But look deeper. What's really dying here isn't the people themselves. It's the dynamics, the projections, the codependencies that held you together. What's dying is the part of you that needed those patterns to feel real, to feel safe, to feel seen. And now you're in the wilderness. There are no distractions, no external voices telling you who you should be. This silence is brutal. It's also sacred, because here, stripped of everything familiar, something is happening that could never occur in the noise of your old life. You are finally truly meeting yourself. Before we go deeper, if these words are touching something true in you, please subscribe and like this video. Your support helps this message reach others who are walking this same path. Genuine individuation, becoming a whole and integrated self, can only happen in solitude. Not because relationships are unimportant, but because you must first learn to be with yourself before you can truly be with another. This desert you're in is a laboratory. It's forcing you to take back all your projections. It's asking, can you stay in your own presence without running away? Most people cannot. They reach for the phone, swipe through apps, dive into superficial connections, anything to avoid the deafening silence. But you're still here. You're enduring, and that endurance is changing you at a cellular level. Let's talk about projection. For most of your life, you haven't been seeing other people clearly. You've been seeing your own inner masculine or feminine reflected back at you. Every time you fell in love, you were actually falling in love with a part of yourself that you hadn't yet integrated. The anima in men, the animus in women. These are the contrasexual aspects of the psyche that we unconsciously project onto romantic partners. This is why past relationships felt so intense at first and then collapsed. You weren't loving the actual person. You were loving your idealized inner image, and when the real human couldn't live up to that projection, everything shattered. The universe is removing people from your life now because it's teaching you to withdraw these projections, to see clearly, to recognize the difference between fantasy and reality. Your energetic signature is shifting. You're no longer broadcasting desperation. You're no longer sending out a signal that says, "Please complete me." Instead, something new is emerging, a quiet, centered presence, a sovereignty that no longer seeks applause. This sovereignty is the most powerful shift you can experience. It's the move from "please choose me" to "I choose." This new frequency acts as a filter. It no longer allows entry to people drawn to your wounds. It only resonates with those drawn to your wholeness. This is why the old crowd had to fall away. They matched your codependence, not your sovereignty. The universe doesn't isolate you to punish you. It isolates you to upgrade you. It's rewriting your core code. Because love isn't about searching. It's about resonance. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. As long as you operated from neediness, you could only attract other needy people. As long as you came from unhealed fear, you created relationships built on that same fear. The isolation shatters these patterns. It forces you to find wholeness not as a concept, but as a lived experience. You're learning to be alone without being lonely, to breathe at your own rhythm. And slowly, the internal weather changes. The anxiety quiets. The urgency vanishes. You begin to understand in your bones that you don't need another person to be complete. And right then, the paradox activates. Precisely when you stop needing, when you cease the frantic search, when you rest in your own fullness, the entire energetic field around you changes. You're broadcasting a new signal, a signal of wholeness. And that frequency attracts something and someone entirely different. But here's the subtle trap. Many mistake the peace that comes from transformation for a closing of the heart. They think stopping the need means stopping the desire. These aren't the same. Neediness comes from lack. Desire, when it's clean, comes from openness. You can stop needing anyone and still joyfully welcome someone into your life. The difference is in the frequency, the vibration, the energetic ask. Why did everything have to go? Why did you need to become so empty? The answer is simple and profound. You needed space, not just in your schedule, space in your soul. As long as your life was cluttered with people who couldn't see you, with relationships that didn't nourish you, with distractions that didn't fulfill you, there was no room for what is real. The universe doesn't create this space gently. It creates it radically. It removes what's in the way. And it does this from necessity, not cruelty. Because the love coming for you needs that space. It requires a clean stage. It requires a partner who is no longer trapped in old patterns. It requires you as you are now becoming. This is individuation, the process of becoming whole. Not perfect, but whole. It means integrating all parts of yourself, the light and the shadow, the strength and the vulnerability, the longing and the independence. This process cannot be completed in a relationship built on fusion or codependency. It can only be completed in sovereignty. And this is why the universe isolated you. You had to become whole. Not almost, not halfway, but whole. Because only a whole person can enter a connection not based on dependency. Only a whole person can love without losing themselves. Only a whole person can meet another whole person to create a bond that isn't a merger, but a meeting. This work of individuation isn't a peaceful retreat. It's a gritty, often agonizing confrontation with your own shadow. The isolation holds up a mirror to all the parts you tried to escape by staying busy and social. It forces you to parent your own inner child, to face your deepest fears of abandonment, to find your own source of validation. You are becoming the partner you always wished you had. This is the non-negotiable requirement for the alchemical wedding, the conjunctio. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. This is perhaps the most uncomfortable truth in depth psychology. What the isolation forces you to face is your neediness, your desperation, your abandonment, wounds your beliefs about unworthiness. When there's no one else to blame, no one else to fix you, meet yourself completely. And in that meeting, something extraordinary happens. You begin to integrate your inner opposite. The masculine within the feminine within the masculine. This internal marriage is what the ancient alchemists called the sacred wedding. Before there can be an outer union, there must be an inner one. You must become comfortable with both your strength and your softness, your action and your receptivity, your logic and your intuition. For years, you searched for these qualities in another person. The man seeking his anima in women, the woman seeking her animus in men. But these are internal figures, parts of your own psyche, demanding recognition. When you project them outward, you create a fantasy. When you integrate them inward, you create wholeness. And from that wholeness, you can finally see another person clearly, not as a repository for your projections, but as they actually are. This is the capacity for true seeing that develops in solitude. Clarity, discernment, wisdom. You're no longer fooled by surface charm or anxious chemistry. You can distinguish between what merely glitters and what is truly gold. Your heart has become discerning, not from bitterness, but from hard-won understanding. The journey of Carl Jung empath and personal development teaches us that real transformation requires this descent into the unconscious. You cannot skip the shadow work. You cannot bypass the pain. The only way out is through. And what you're moving through right now is creating a foundation unshakable enough to hold the weight of genuine love. The fear remains, though. After all this waiting, all this loneliness, all this excruciating transformation, what if nobody comes? This fear is real. The universe doesn't promise you that this person will arrive. It only promises that you'll be ready if and when they do. The isolation isn't an insurance policy. It's a preparation. It doesn't guarantee the outcome. It guarantees your capacity to hold that outcome. But one thing is certain. If they come, you will recognize them, and you will be ready. Because the love that arrives after the desert isn't a discovery. It's a recognition. It doesn't feel new and frantic. It feels ancient and familiar, as if you've known this person for lifetimes, as if they're not a surprise, but a remembrance. This is because true love doesn't arise from ego projections. It arises from soul clarity. When you meet someone from need, you're projecting. You don't see the person. You see your hopes, your rescue fantasies, your idealized image. When the real person doesn't match the fantasy, it shatters. But when you meet someone from wholeness, you no longer project. You see. You recognize. And what you recognize isn't a perfect person. It's the right person. The one whose soul resonates with yours on a frequency deeper than words. Don't mistake this recognition for the chaotic spark of infatuation. That old spark was often your trauma recognizing another person's trauma, a sign of impending codependency. This new recognition is quiet, peaceful. It feels like calm. A deep cellular yes that doesn't need to perform or impress. The soul, not the ego, makes this connection, and the soul speaks in whispers, not screams. This is what the desert has forged in you. The capacity to see, the ability to recognize, the wisdom to distinguish. You're not easily fooled anymore. And when this person comes, you won't cling in desperation. You won't try to save them. You won't try to change them. You'll simply walk beside them in your own rhythm with your own sovereignty, and they'll do the same. Two people not merging, but aligning. Two people not needing each other, but choosing each other. Let's make this practical. What does sovereignty look like in daily life? It starts with how you meet yourself each morning. Before you check your phone, before you engage with the world, you spend time in your own presence. This might be meditation journaling, or simply sitting in silence. You're establishing that your relationship with yourself comes first. Active imagination, a technique from depth psychology, becomes a powerful practice. You dialogue with your inner figures, your shadow, your anima or animus. You ask them what they need. You listen to the wisdom of your unconscious. This isn't fantasy. This is integration. You're bringing unconscious material into conscious awareness, healing the splits within yourself. You build a life that makes sense on its own, a life not contingent on another's arrival. You pursue what makes you feel alive. You create, you explore, you grow. When someone eventually steps into this life, they won't be filling a void. They'll be sharing a fullness. That's the transformation. That's the point. The discernment you've gained is profound. You'll never again ignore certain red flags. You can spot codependency before it takes root. You recognize when someone is asking you to be their savior or their therapist rather than their partner. You understand the difference between intensity and intimacy, between chemistry born from trauma and connection born from clarity. And you know the green flags too. You're looking for someone who has done their own work, who can hold space for themselves, who doesn't need you to be complete. Someone who respects boundaries, who communicates clearly, who takes responsibility for their own emotional states. Someone whose presence feels like home, not like a hurricane. The field of Carl Jung empath and personal development shows us that conscious partnership requires two sovereign beings. When you meet from this place, conflict transforms. It's no longer a power struggle. It's an opportunity for mutual understanding. You don't try to win. You try to understand. You don't defend your ego. You reveal your truth. This is what becomes possible after the desert. What if no one comes? This question still whispers in the quiet moments. But here's what you've already gained, something no one can take from you. You've won yourself back. You've learned to rest in your own presence. You've understood that you're not a half but an entire universe. And that realization alone is transformative. It's healing. It's freedom. You're not the same person who started this journey. You've shed skins. You've let masks fall. You've stopped bending and shrinking to be loved. You've stopped making yourself small to fit into spaces that were suffocating you. You're standing in your full stature now. And yes, that can be intimidating. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will meet your depth. But the right person will. And that's all that matters. The desert has taught you that you're not for everyone. It's taught you that you don't have to please everyone. It's taught you that your energy is precious, and you get to choose who you share it with. That choice isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. And from that self-respect arises a love that doesn't cling, but liberates, that doesn't control, but trusts, that doesn't grasp, but allows. When the right person comes, you won't try to hold on to them. You'll simply invite them to stay. And they'll stay, not because they must, but because they want to. Because they recognize in you a space where they too can be their fullest self, without masks, without defenses, without fear of abandonment if they show their truth. This is the essence of the sacred union. Two sovereign beings standing in their own truth and meeting each other in that truth. No fusion, no codependency, just connection based on mutual respect, mutual sight, mutual honoring. This kind of connection is rare, it's precious, and it can only be born between two people who have crossed the desert. The desert isn't the end, it's the beginning. It's the sacred ground where everything old dies, so everything new may be born. It's where you learn who you truly are when all external voices finally quiet. It's where you reclaim your sovereignty. And that sovereignty is the greatest gift you can bring to any relationship, because it means you don't come to be filled. You come to share and to receive in equal measure. This is the love you're being prepared for. A love built on equality, on mutual maturity, on shared wholeness. When it arrives, you'll understand why you had to go through everything. You'll understand why every person had to leave, why every connection had to break, why you had to be alone for so long. Because without this journey, you would never have been able to recognize what was standing right in front of you. Look at who you've become. Before you were reactive, anxious, constantly seeking validation. Now, you're responsive, centered, self-validated. Before you tolerated behavior that diminished you. Now your boundaries are clear and non-negotiable. Before you feared solitude. Now you treasure it. Before you needed love to feel complete. Now you want love to share your completeness. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It happened in 1,000 small moments of choosing yourself. Every time you sat with discomfort instead of running. Every time you honored your truth instead of people-pleasing. Every time you said no to what wasn't right and yes to what aligned with your soul. These moments accumulated into the person you are now. The studies in Carl Jung empath and personal development reveal that individuation is never truly finished. It's a lifelong process. But you've crossed a threshold. You've done the foundational work. You've integrated enough of your shadow, reclaimed enough of your projections, and built enough internal structure to hold genuine love when it arrives. And when it does arrive, it won't look like the movies. It won't be dramatic or overwhelming. It will be quiet. A sense of rightness, a feeling of coming home. You'll meet their eyes and think, oh, there you are. Not in relief, but in recognition, as if you knew this moment was inevitable, not because it was promised, but because you were ready. This person won't complete you. They'll complement you. They won't rescue you. They'll walk beside you. They won't fix your wounds. They'll hold space while you heal them. And you'll do the same for them. Because this is what sovereign love looks like. Two whole people creating something greater than either could alone. The love won't burn. It will glow. It won't consume. It will nourish. It won't demand. It will give. And you'll both be giving from fullness, not from lack. This is worth every single day of loneliness, every moment of silence, every tear cried in the dark. Because this love isn't built on sand, it's built on bedrock, the bedrock of your own wholeness. Until then, honor the silence, honor the solitude, honor the process. Trust that nothing is wasted. Every moment of isolation is bringing you closer to yourself, and that closeness to yourself is the foundation for all true closeness with another. You're not abandoned, you're not forgotten. You're in transformation. And this transformation is sacred, necessary, and nearly complete. Hold on, not from desperation, but from trust. From the deep quiet knowing that the universe isn't isolating you to punish you. It's isolating you to prepare you for a love that changes everything. For a love that lasts. For a love that is real. And that love doesn't begin when someone else arrives. It begins right now. It begins with you. With how you treat yourself. With how you rest in your own presence. With how you view your solitude not as a prison, but as a portal, a chrysalis, the sacred space where you finally come home to yourself. Your vision will become clear, only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. You are awake now, and love will meet you there. Not as a savior, not as a completion, but as a choice. A conscious, clear, beautiful choice between two people who have found themselves first. The greatest love of your life isn't the person who's coming. The greatest love of your life is the person you've become while you waited. Stronger, clearer, free. Capable of a love most people only know from stories. A love based not on fear, but on freedom. Not on need, but on choice. Not on illusion, but on truth. If you are in this transformation right now, share your experience in the comments. What insights have emerged? What fears are you still holding? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Subscribe if you want to continue this journey into the depths of the soul. This isn't about quick fixes. This is about the kind of healing that changes everything. The universe is preparing you. Trust the process. Trust yourself. You're exactly where you need to be.